Hi my friends, I'm outside in my backyard again. It's a lovely April morning. There are birds singing out here. I want to show you what's been happening around here. You can hear the blue jays hollering. And we're going to go look at some trees that tell me that there have been woodpeckers around this area. Let's go. So first I want to show you what happened to those daffodils that we looked at the last time. They didn't have any flowers last time, just buds. Now the flowers have come out. They're bright yellow and just beautiful. Over here, there's even some tall daffodil bulbs that are blooming. There's still some buds on them, but there's also some flowers opening. Really pretty. So I want to show you over here this tree that I noticed has two really big holes in it right there. See them? Those holes were made by a pileated woodpecker. It's a great big woodpecker with a bright red crest of feathers on its head. It's the biggest woodpecker in New Hampshire. Actually, it's the biggest woodpecker in the whole country. It's as big as a crow. And he lands on this tree and he listens. Sometimes you can see him turn their head sideways and he listens, and he can hear the ants that are inside that tree, and he loves to eat ants, so he pecks out these great big holes, and the wood chips go flying when he's doing it, and when he's done, he gets to feast on ants. You can see, I'll go a little closer, you can see the sap that's dripping out of these holes when he taps the tree. He's not really interested in the sap, but there are insects that love that sap. Even butterflies will come by and drink it up when it's dripping out of those holes. I'm going to show you a picture of a pileated woodpecker. Take a look. This is my apple tree. I'm going to walk a little closer and show you some holes in this tree. They're not like the pileated holes. They're tiny holes, and they're all in a row. You can see rows and rows of these holes all around this tree. These holes were made by a woodpecker too, but it's a much smaller woodpecker called a sapsucker. And this woodpecker comes over to this tree. He doesn't want insects. He likes sap. So one day he'll come over and tap a whole row of holes and then fly away. And then the next day when he comes back, there is sap dripping out of all these holes, and that's what he loves. He drinks up all the sap and then makes another row of holes and then comes back and drinks up that sap. And believe it or not, it really does not hurt this tree. These holes only go in a little bit, and so the tree doesn't mind it. And the sapsucker gets a nice little meal. It works out. I'm going to sing you a song we sometimes sing at school as I'm walking down this trail. It goes like this. What did you notice outside today? What did you see when you were on your way? Up in the trees and down on the ground. Tell me, what did you see? And then we talk about all the things we notice when we're outside. Well, I was walking down this trail the other day and I noticed this big tree fell over this winter. I was taking a close look at it. The roots are kind of rotten looking and there's not very many of them. So that's why the tree fell over. But the reason the tree died before it fell over was because of this pesky insect called the emerald ash borer. It's called emerald because it is bright green. It's a beetle. So what this beetle does, it bores or digs tiny holes in the bark. I don't know if you can see them, but there are teeny, tiny holes in the bark of this tree that the beetle digs through, lays some eggs. The eggs hatch into caterpillars. And those caterpillars, just like that very hungry caterpillar that you probably remember us reading about, they eat and eat, but they don't eat leaves. They eat the tree, and that damages the tree. You can see right here where they've been eating and eating. You can see right here that they eat right down into the wood of the tree. And the tree cannot get nutrients when the insects are eating all their wood like that. So the tree eventually dies. And the holes, there are other holes in this tree that I noticed right here. Those holes are not made by the insect. Those are made by woodpeckers. Probably a hairy woodpecker. He does the same thing that the pileated woodpeckers do. He flies over to the tree, lands on it, and listens. And he can hear those insects inside under the bark of this tree. And he taps holes to pull out the insects. So the woodpecker gets a meal, but the tree cannot survive when an emerald ash borer makes a home under its bark. The good thing is, when this tree falls over, it opens up the canopy. That's the canopy up there, and more sunlight comes down. So all of these smaller trees get more light, and now they can grow, and they will fill in where this ash tree fell over. So thanks for watching today. You might want to go out in your yard and look at your trees carefully and see if you can find any signs that woodpeckers have been around your yard. Have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.